we did a little poll on this. Look at this. 50% of the people said they love it. 33% said they hate it.
It's big, it's bold, and it's gorgeous. And what you've got is 1.9 million of pre-orders. That's a huge number. And what's going to happen is this thing's going to start deliveries probably end of third quarter. It's going to be priced, the base model will be priced right below $50,000. And it's going to start rolling across America. It's going to be like a rolling billboard. And people are going to see it. And they're going to be like, wow, that's really interesting. And they're going to go to the website and they're going to order a Model 3 or a Model Y or a Model S or a Model X or a Cybertruck. And you're going to produce this whole halo effect.
The cumulative reservations for Tesla Cybertruck are in excess of the combined sales in 2022 for the number 1, 2, 3, and 4 best-selling pickup trucks. In this video, shocking new data shows Tesla Cybertruck has landed a devastating blow. There's about to be a new king in town, and there'll be a pile of corpses as he takes his rightful place on the throne. And just a quick heads up to my Patreon supporters and to my Twitter/X subscribers. Submissions are now open for exclusive Q&As on both platforms, so be sure to get your questions in now as submissions won't be open much longer. If you'd like to join Patreon or subscribe over on Twitter/X, click the links in the pinned comment.
Joining us now is widely followed Tesla watcher and future fund managing partner and co-founder Gary Black. So Gary, listen, I got a lot of creative comments on Twitter, X, whatever, on the Cybertruck. Everything from I love it, can't wait to take ownership to something about a Pontiac Aztec Honda Ridgeline love child. Anyway, we did a little poll on this. Look at this. 50% of the people said they love it. 33% said they hate it. I don't know, 16% said they're not sure. I don't know how people are not sure of anything, but
we have to talk about this. So a poll conducted by CNBS, who historically have had a rather anti-Tesla, anti-Elon, Elon bad, definitely has nothing to do with their major advertisers being automotive companies. I don't even know why I mentioned that. It's totally irrelevant. But a CNBS poll conducted had over half of respondents saying that they loved the Cybertruck. Given this is an incredibly divisive product, extremely unique in appearance, it's really one of those love it or hate it products. The fact that literally half and then some of respondents to this CNBS poll said they love Cybertruck bodes incredibly well. Remember, this is before the thing has hit roads. Most of these votes will be based on aesthetics alone. About 1/3 of respondents said they hate it, which was a very common reaction when Cybertruck was first unveiled. Cybertruck tends to grow on people, at least aesthetically speaking, but once this thing actually starts hitting roads and work sites, a lot of people who currently hate it based purely on what it looks like may come to love it based on what it can do. As for the 15.7% of people who were unsure, much like Brian, I find it a little strange anyone would be unsure about this, but then again, that is of course coming from somebody who's extremely sure, very decisive, and quite opinionated. I find it very difficult to relate to people who are uncertain about anything. But my suspicion is, of this 15.7% of people who are unsure, I think Cybertruck's going to grow on the majority of these folks over time. What we are looking at here are the best-selling pickup trucks in the United States in 2022, which was a lower year in terms of total vehicles sold. On a good year, some of these models each approaching 1 million units sold. Regardless, the Ford F-Series, as in F-150 and so on, 653,957 units sold. Silverado, just over 500,000. Ram, almost 500,000. GMC Sierra and the Toyota Tacoma, each about 250,000 units. And as I record this, based on the public Cybertruck reservation tracker in which a bunch of nerds and or one nerd, I don't even know, reverse engineered Tesla's reservation numbers to figure out what place people were in line. As I record this, there are 1,943,876 reservations for Tesla's Cybertruck. Per Moron Stanley's 50,000 units per year, that's 38.8 years of production. Almost 4 decades back to the best-selling pickup trucks in the United States in 2022. In very approximate terms, the total reservations for Tesla's Cybertruck as of late July 2023 are more than the number 1, 2, 3, and 4 best-selling pickup trucks in the United States combined. One more time. As I record this, the cumulative reservations for Tesla Cybertruck are in excess of the combined sales in 2022 for the number 1, 2, 3, and 4 best-selling pickup trucks. I don't want to labor the point, but please, let that sink in. Do you understand These things have yet to hit roads. There's already almost 2 million reservations. If all sold in a single year, which I'm not saying will happen, I mean, good luck ramping production to 2 million plus units a year that quickly. However, if all sold in a single year, that would be for the number 1, 2, 3, and 4 2022 sales of pickup trucks in the US. And this is before they hit roads and work sites. The 50% of people who either don't like Cybertruck, they hate it, and or they're not sure, when many of these folks see what the Cybertruck can do or just have a little bit more time to get used to its aesthetic, many of those will ultimately end up buying a Cybertruck themselves. I genuinely think over the long term, Cybertruck has a shot at becoming the best-selling pickup truck in history. It will take time, but this is on the cards. Even in the worst case, I'm extremely confident it'll crack the top 3. And as bullish as this is for Tesla, there are two sides to this equation. What happens to the companies who are today producing the number 1, 2, and 3 best-selling pickup trucks? Something to consider. Now, in case you haven't noticed, I'm a big fan of numbers, so let's do some of those very things right now. Current Cybertruck reservations times, let's just use a hypothetical average selling price of a fairly economical $50,000. I think it might be a bit more, but hey, let's err on the side of being a little conservative. I don't want to get too Trevor Milton on you folks here, but let's see, in billions of dollars, what Tesla's current Cybertruck reservation backlog would represent if each Cybertruck on average is sold for $50,000 a pop. Keeping in mind, entry level is probably going to be around 50 grand, going to be tri-motor and quad-motor versions with much longer range, gigantic fucking batteries that'll cost way more than this. This is a very conservative estimate. Let's see where we end up. That's a lot of numbers. I think we're at $97 billion. Let me just check here. By the way, I just would like to give some feedback to Google. I'm going to do it right now, actually. Feedback sent. Since the folks who programmed this calculator on Google, for whatever reason, chose not to follow numerical conventions here and use commas to delimit every 3 figures, we'll have to do it ourselves. My eyeball was right. We are looking at $97.2 billion in potential revenue, just from Cybertruck sales at $50,000 a pop. Of course, if the average selling price is a little bit higher than this, it'll be well in excess of $100 billion, which is a little more revenue than Tesla will probably do for the entire year of 2023, just from a single product, just from existing reservations. I'm sure it's nothing.
Do you take solace from the pictures and from the public small sample reaction?
Well, it's big, it's bold, and it's gorgeous. And what you've got is 1.9 million of pre-orders. That's a huge number. And what's going to happen is this thing's going to start deliveries probably end of third quarter. It's going to be priced, the base model will be priced right below $50,000. And it's going to start rolling across America. It's going to be like a rolling billboard. And people are going to see it. And they're going to be like, wow, that's really interesting. And they're going to go to the website and they're going to order a Model 3 or a Model Y or a Model S or a Model X or a Cybertruck. And you're going to produce this whole halo effect.
Gary's absolutely right here. Cybertruck literally is a rolling fucking billboard. People see this and there'll be a few different reactions. 1, what the actual fuck is that? 2, holy fuck, what is that? 3, that is uglier than my girlfriend. Oh shit, I shouldn't have said that out loud. I love you, baby. 4, looks like a doorstop. 5, I think my shrooms just kicked in. Many of these people who see this, love it or hate it, are going to be interested. They'll jump online. What the fuck was that doorstop I saw driving? Oh, it's a Cybertruck. Oh, what a piece of shit. Oh, Tesla Model Y looks pretty cool. I might buy one. And I really don't think people are appreciating the impact when these things start hitting roads en masse. Forget people seeing what it's capable of doing when they're on work sites. Forget that. Just the aesthetic of this thing. It looks like it's driven off a movie set. To illustrate the point, let me show you what happened when I posted the second ever video on this YouTube channel. Maybe you were one of the folks who originally saw this video, which stunningly made it onto YouTube's trending list. I certainly wasn't expecting that. But here's what happened. Approximately 1.2 million people watched this video on a product on an unknown YouTube channel. Why? There's something about Cybertruck that's interesting. The comments on this video were fascinating. Such a divisive design. Many people, this is the ugliest fucking thing I've ever seen in my life, but I kind of like it. A lot of people said, when I first saw this, I thought this was so fucking ugly, it was unbelievable. But then I realized, because of this video, why it looks that way, and now I kind of like it. In fact, I love it. If you guys are curious, go search for this video and read through some of the early comments. You'll see this as a recurring theme. People's first reaction, this is so ugly, I hate it. Wait a minute. It's kind of growing on me. Next minute, I love it. Next minute, I've ordered one. This same thing is going to play out again when these things hit roads. And to emphasize Gary's point again about this being a rolling billboard, 1.2 million views on a video about a product on an unknown channel. This is not normal. And while the video wasn't terrible, it wasn't so much the video, it was the subject matter that got people's attention. In fact, a few months later, I posted what was in essence a follow-up video looking at the financial impact of Cybertruck from the perspective of a Tesla stock investor. Wow, hail Satan. Nice. You can't make this shit up. Look at this. 666,000 views and 69.2 thousand hours of watch time. Now the point, these are some of the most viewed videos on this YouTube channel of all time, both on Tesla's Cybertruck. This vehicle will get tongues wagging. It is a rolling billboard.
Which is exactly what happened back in 20 when the Model Y first came out and people didn't know what to make of it. This is even more grand because it's not going to cannibalize any of the base products because Tesla has never been in the pickup truck business. So you're not going to cannibalize anything. So it's going to be a home run for Tesla, and it's going to really catapult the stock, and it's going to really catapult volumes into next year.
Well, I appreciate the optimism. Let's throw the pictures back up. I want our audience to look at them. Again, this is not the full Cybertruck. The trim is kind of hidden. That's the video of what they've advertised. We're showing now, Gary, which is not really what the picture is because they're trying to mask some things. We certainly get that. But it's a unique looking vehicle. I'm not sure what you can do with it, right? You can tow stuff, I guess. What's the purpose of this, I think?
I'm trying to keep an open mind here. I'm trying to be as reasonable as possible. I'm trying to understand. Is Brian asking this question as a talking point to get Gary talking? Does he genuinely want to know the answer to this question? Is he really unsure as to what Cybertruck is capable of doing? I honestly don't know the answer to that question. But bro, we've seen the specs. We've seen the unveil. We've seen the secure bed. We've seen the air suspension. If one only think, important caveat there, think, it hurts sometimes to do that, but it's important. If one only think, one realizes, okay, we've got a secure bed, we've got the built-in ramps, onboard air compressor, onboard power outlets, stainless steel exoskeleton, comparable dimensions to an F-150, huge bed, crazy torque, performance of a sports car. Aside from unusual situations in which you need a gigantic, ultra-long bed, or to be able to load the bed from the sides, this thing should do exactly what another pickup truck should do, and then some. So I'm trying to understand if Brian's just making conversation, or because of the aesthetic, he's just assuming Cybertruck can't do what a pickup truck can do. And if the latter, which it might be, this is actually a very bullish sign for Tesla because, as I've mentioned, once these things actually appear in the wild, on roads, on work sites, in your neighbor's driveway, and people see what they're actually capable of doing, those like Brian who are like, oh, what can it actually do? When people like that actually see what it can do, suddenly their questions are answered and they realize, this thing can actually do what I need it to do. And it's fucking badass and near indestructible. I might buy one.
It's positioned as a pickup truck lovers, especially if they're a little younger, because the 65-year-old may not like it, but the 40 to 50-something pickup truck owner will love it. It's very different. It's powerful. It'll go from 0 to 60 in 2.5 seconds. It'll tow as much as an F-150 does. And I'm telling you, once it's out there, people are not going to be resistant. You stand next to it. I'm a big guy. I'm 6'2", and I stand next to it, and the thing just dwarfs me. It's huge, but it's beautiful. When you look at it, there is nothing else on the market like it. And so go out 3 or 4 years from now, you're going to have this Cybertruck, and let's suppose it's doing 350 to 400,000 units a year, and the street's only looking for about 150,000 a year. So that's worth 60 cents a show in earning. You could then bring out a smaller one if you wanted to that looks like that would basically sell very well in Europe or in Asia as well.
This is all but a certainty. Once Cybertruck volume is ramped up meaningfully in the United States, it's inevitable Tesla's going to bring out a much smaller, more compact version of the Cybertruck. And what they'll do is they'll look at the specs globally in markets it's worth selling Cybertruck in, determine the bare minimum threshold. How small does this need to be street legal in every region? Meaning the shortest, the narrowest, the smallest form factor. There's no point in making 12 different size Cybertrucks for each different region globally. Tesla's going to look at the specs and go, all right, what width does this thing need to be street legal in every region we would like to sell it in? What specs? What dimensions? Not only will there be a US-based Cybertruck, full specs, the biggest fucker out there, there's also going to be a for rest of world Cybertruck, which will be more compact, meaningfully so that it's street legal in all the markets it's worthwhile selling in.
So I think I think people are missing the whole point in this, that not just do people want a Cybertruck, but just it being out there, it's going to create a halo effect for the entire Tesla franchise. Just like what happened when Model Y came out in 20 and 2020. And you remember what happened to Tesla's stock price in 20. It went up 7-fold because everybody got excited about Model Y, new TAM, incremental volume. Volumes went from 36% growth in 2020 to 87% in 2021. You're going to see the same thing happen next year with the entire Tesla franchise.
Yeah, my only concern, listen, as a guy that tows a lot of stuff, the range is not going to be good. So, no electric car can tow anything for very long. But that said,
this will. The battery's going to be huge, Brian.
How big? How far I know we don't know all the specs, but the F-150 Lightning, if I towed my small boat, I'm getting like 150 miles, then I got to unplug the trailer to back the car and to charge it. Like, no, I'm sorry, I'm not going to do that for the price. Is this going to be better than that? Can I make it from, if I'm a rich tech bro, and that's who's going to buy these at first, can I make it from Atherton to my chalet in Tahoe on a charge?
I'd just like to interject here. There are some people, believe it or not, who aren't super familiar with physics, the kind of people who foolishly will argue that a small vehicle might outperform a large vehicle if they collide because the small vehicle has better safety systems. These people just don't understand physics. When a more massive object collides with a smaller object, the more massive object always wins. So to the folks out there who don't have a fundamental understanding of physics, whenever you're towing anything, you're moving more mass, which requires more energy, aka fuel. Whether your vehicle is internal combustion engine, whether it's a diesel vehicle, whether it's a gasoline-based vehicle, whether it's an electric vehicle, it doesn't matter. You will lose range if you are moving more mass. A lot of people previously had an idea in their head that electric vehicles can't tow. Why? Because prior to a few years ago, there weren't many electric vehicles with decent range on the market. What it really comes down to is how much range does a vehicle have before you try to tow something. If your vehicle has 200 miles of range, whether it's internal combustion or electric, and you try and tow something, you're clearly not going to be able to tow for 200 miles. It'll be significantly less. If the vehicle has 350 miles of range to start with, you're going to be able to tow a lot longer. There's no meaningful difference between how much range when you're towing something you'll get from an ICE vehicle versus an electric vehicle, because physics. The amount of range you'll lose when towing something of similar mass is approximately the same whether it's an ICE vehicle or an electric vehicle. What matters is, how much range did you have to begin with? How much are you playing with? There's no meaningful difference between an internal combustion engine vehicle and an electric vehicle in terms of how much range you get when towing something. They both suffer equally. The more mass you're moving, the more energy is required. There's nothing magical about an internal combustion engine vehicle over an electric vehicle when it comes to towing stuff. All you need is sufficient range to begin with, sufficient energy to begin with, to allow you to tow something for a reasonable distance. You can throw away the idea that electric vehicles can't tow. Replace that instead with vehicles that don't have much range to begin with will have even less range when towing, whether or not they're internal combustion or electric.
You'll be able to go even towing something. And again, you have a double motor, a two motor Cybertruck, a tri-motor Cybertruck, and a quad motor Cybertruck. And it's going to have a huge battery. You'll be able to go at least 300 miles on the small one, probably 500 miles on the big one. And you're right, we haven't heard specs given out, but I think it's going to be such a compelling value for a pickup truck owner. A lot of people are going to buy one, and a lot of people are going to be very excited about it, and they're going to tell their friends, and then everybody's going to want a Cybertruck. Just like, think about Model Y. This thing came out in 2020. It's now the best-selling vehicle in the world. Think about that.
Yeah, outselling. I think I saw a story outselling Toyota now in California, but I feel like it's a coastal phenomenon so far. The middle of the country.
Can't believe this needs to be said, but this needs to be said. In response to Brian hearing, maybe he didn't know, I guess he didn't know, the Tesla's Model Y is the best-selling vehicle on the planet we call Earth, as far as we're aware. The only location human beings exist on the whole planet, the best-selling vehicle on the whole planet. Brian points out that it seems to be a coastal phenomenon. And in fairness to Brian, there are certainly more people in California buying Tesla's Model Y on average per capita than other parts of the United States. What the fuck does that have to do with anything? It's the best-selling vehicle on the planet. Call me crazy. I think it's probably more important to consider what's the best-selling vehicle on the planet than if certain pockets of that planet have even more sales per capita and certain pockets have less sales per capita, if it's literally the best-selling vehicle on the whole planet. Or is that just me? Am I just a deluded Tesla fanboy?
Model Y is not, Brian. Model Y is the best-selling vehicle in the world for the first quarter and likely in the second quarter. And again, with Cybertruck, 1.9 million pre-orders. And yeah, anybody, including me, put a pre-order in. But I would bet, and this is what Tesla's telling its suppliers, they're going to do 375,000 a year. Once they get ramped up, they're going to build this thing in Texas in the Austin plant. 375,000 a year is a lot of trucks.
Sure is. That would instantly catapult Cybertruck to the number 4 spot in terms of best-selling pickup trucks in the United States. However, I think Tesla will quickly discover that they're going to need to massively scale Cybertruck production well beyond 375,000 units per year. Those of you who have access to my Tesla valuation model will know exactly how many units I think this thing will sell globally once scaled up. Let's just say it's meaningfully over 375,000 units. To recap some of the key points in today's video, Gary Black is absolutely right. Cybertruck will literally be a rolling billboard and sell a ton of Tesla vehicles, including Cybertruck, Model S, 3, X, Y, and in the future, the next generation vehicle as well. In addition, stunning new data shows that Tesla Cybertruck reservations have now exceeded the cumulative sales in 2022 in the United States of the number 1, 2, 3, and 4 best-selling pickup trucks. And that's before these things have hit roads and work sites. But let's keep this to ourselves because 1, still buying Tesla stock with every spare cent, and 2, kind of don't want Moron Stanley to realize that their recently published research in which they think demand for Cybertruck is going to be a lot lower than people expect. Just 50,000 units per year of demand doesn't quite check out because based on existing reservations for Cybertruck, that would represent almost 39 years of production. After all, if they stop publishing embarrassing research, I'm not going to have a lot to talk about. Let me know in the comments below if anyone watching has reserved a Cybertruck. Athletic Greens AG1 has given me a massive, meaningful boost in energy, allowing me to do a lot more every day, including using my brain more and using my body more. I highly recommend you guys and girls check it out. Athletic Greens AG1 is an excellent way to fill in nutritional gaps. It's got 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, and whole food source nutrients, plus prebiotics and probiotics and digestive enzymes and adaptogens to help you deal with stress. Plus, if you click the link in the pinned comment or head to drinkag1.com/SMR, you can get yourself a 1-year free supply of vitamin D3 and K2. But don't take my word for it. Here's what some of you guys and girls have to say. AG1 has changed my life. I was, as you described, treating myself like a circus, ate like trash, rarely exercised, used alcohol as a stress crutch, cannabis also. AG1 is what gave me the kick in the ass, got me back to the gym, motivated me to do more for myself, family, my business, etc. Keep doing what you do. Now, I know there's some skeptics, the same kind of people who think Elon Musk is a fraud, reading this going, what do you thought? There's no way that's possible, bro. It must be a placebo effect. Believe it or not, this is a recurring theme. If you give your body everything it needs to feel and perform its best, including having a lot more energy, you'll need ways to use that energy. For me personally, that includes more exercise, moving my body more social activity, and more cognitively demanding tasks, including producing a ton of exclusive content over on Twitter and on Patreon, plus my daily YouTube uploads. The proof's in the pudding. On to another testimonial from a viewer of this channel. SMR, you asked me to provide feedback on AG1. Here it is. It has helped with mental acuity, stamina, and intestinal waste management. Can't read between the lines. It certainly helps with regularity and digestion. That's what the digestive enzymes are for. It has also dramatically reduced my cravings for sugar. You guys need to stop eating sugar. It's fucking poison. I'm 50, 5'9", and overweight, aka a fat motherfucker. I think that's a technical term for overweight, isn't it? Is it fat motherfucker or obese? I can't remember. I average 100 hours a week in the West Texas oil fields as a safety supervisor. Jesus Christ, dude. No wonder you're struggling to keep your weight under control. 100 hours a week. Brutal. It has helped me lose weight. It is not an appetite suppressant. It can help fat people suppress cravings, and motivation to be healthier is critical for changing your diet. Love you, brother. Again, this is a great point and something people really don't seem to grasp. If you have more energy, everything becomes easier. It's like turning on easy mode for life. A few years ago, before I was taking AG1, my health was trash. I was struggling to get through the day, had afternoon fatigue. The last thing I wanted to do was either use my brain or move my body. Didn't have the energy. Now, my biggest struggle every day is figuring out ways to use that energy. I'm exercising way more, doing a lot more with my friends and family, and of course, my work output has increased substantially. And you can fact check me. Check out the average length of my videos I was posting to YouTube 3 years ago. Need I say more? And one final testimonial. Love this one. Okay, here's the deal for me with this AG1 shit. I'm 41 years old and not the type to eat, drink, smoke, or sleep healthy, so I was skeptical. That being said, here's what I experienced. Day 1, meh. Day 2, afternoon fatigue was about 45 minutes late. Day 3, 0 afternoon fatigue. Day 4, 0 afternoon fatigue plus extra energy. Day 5, again, 0 afternoon fatigue plus energy, wondering, what the fuck, really? See, this is the thing, right? The results for many people are just almost too good to be true. This is the same experience I had. My afternoon fatigue just vanished out of nowhere. I'm like, wait, what the fuck? Why am I not tired in the afternoons anymore? Surely, it's not that AG1 shit, is it? Turns out it was. Day 6 and 7, same thing. Day 8, same thing. Plus, I had the want to get things done around the house that I normally would slack off and not get done. Again, the point, extra energy, you'll need to use it. You'll find ways to use it. Day 9, 10, and 11, and today is day 12. I fucking love it. So however you managed to get me to buy it, I'm so glad you did. Thank you so much, SMR. It really changed me so far. Guys, this shit really works. Just try it. By the way, this is the reason I continue to relentlessly promote AG1. A lot of people get real fucking mad in the comments. Oh my God, snake oil salmon sold out. Oh my God, he's a scammer. This is fraud. But constantly, I'm pretty sure everyone making these comments is also currently short Tesla stock. I'm not particularly concerned about people having a negative perception, those folks suffering from small brain syndrome, still living in my bum's basement syndrome, etc., writing mean comments, claiming AG1's a scam or it doesn't work. I mean, bro, when I get feedback like this is what keeps me going. And remember, there is a 90-day money-back guarantee. There's nothing to lose here. Just try this stuff for a month, and if you don't get these results, get your money back. See, it's a literal no-brainer. It's an IQ test at this point in time. Testimonial after testimonial after testimonial like this. Get your money back if it doesn't work. Just try it for a month, and if it doesn't work, get your money back. Today's the day. It's finally time. Be like this guy who was a massive skeptic, but finally, after 1,000 promotions in a row, caved in, tried AG1, and has results like this. Head to drinkag1.com/SMR or click the link in the pinned comment, and please, let me know how you're feeling in a few weeks' time. Now, if you'll excuse me, time to put my extra energy to good use. I'll be recording some more exclusive content for Patreon and my Twitter subscribers. So click the links in the pinned comment, see you over on Twitter and or Patreon, and don't forget to grab your AG1. Love ya.